Hello again, this is the Sports Betting Whale on Tuesday, March 14th. Please visit us at thewhalepicks.com, thewhalepicks.com to learn more about our program. I'm going to answer some questions today that came in during this little tough run that we're on. We had another round robin that everyone would agree should have won easily last night with the Atlanta Hawks. Leonard was supposed to be out with the concussion protocol, and he went ahead and played, which surprised everybody. But even with that fact, we had a situation where we were drawing 6.5 to 7.5 points, and we were down one with low minutes to go. And at the very end, everyone who watched the final saw that we missed a couple tip-ins and didn't get fouled at the end. 9 times out of 10, you win those situations when you're down one, drawing that many points, and also when the other team's not even playing defense and you're just missing open shots at the very end that would be for the cover. Disappointing, as you know. It cost me a lot of money too. It would have been nice. That would have created, just one ticket would have created a winning night for us. On the second half plays last night, I had a good percentage. First halves I didn't, so I'm going to play more second halves for the halftime players now, because it seems like I'm zeroing in on them at a much more consistent rate. So the first question today is going to lead to a good discussion on how I handle the money management, and I just wanted to make sure that it's very clear for everybody, because there might have been some misunderstanding that hopefully this video will clear up going forward. Question from text message from Vince, and the text, if you want to text us, you text us at 702-462-1135. Vince texted in, "I've been a member for 3 weeks now and I'm down big time. After all the successes you've had, how can we have these poor results for 3 straight weeks?" Well, this isn't an excuse, or it's certainly not going to be any consoling for you, but Vince, the reality is that the streaks create a huge multiplier effect when we get hot, and the cold streaks show these kind of losses at times, infrequently, but they do happen when the games aren't going into any normal flow, especially at the end. If you go and you look at the plays and you take out the games that were close at the end, you'd see that we're on the right side of most games. We've had an unbelievably bad streak of losing the close games, much more than 50-50. And in a round robin system, just like last night, 1 round robin hits, it's a winning night. 2 round robins hit, you really accelerate. And we've had opportunities almost daily where we were odds-on favorites to win 1, 2, or sometimes 3 roundies. It is unusual for me to not hit round robins for a streak at this period of time, and I certainly do not feel good about it for myself and for everybody else that's playing it. But I have over 25 years experience in doing this, and even during these downtimes, one little hot cycle generally will bring a 30 to 50 to 1 return on my round robin system. Here's the clarification that's really important. I generally start with $1,000. That's my base amount that I risk. I bet a percentage of that until it either multiplies to 100,000, 50,000, 200,000, or it gets down to the point where there's only $100 or $200 left, and then I replenish it back to the $1,000. In the ebook that I just finished writing, it describes about how I'm more than happy to lose the seed capital 20, 30, 40 times, 50 times a year in exchange for 5 or 6 runs of 100 times my money and a dozen runs of 30 to 50 times my money. The multiplier effect on the round robin system is so incredible that one really good run will make us all up for the entire year. You'll be able to bank the money, and you'll be betting on house money every point after that. And that's what I, in the 1990s, with my very famous Mirage run, started with $1,000, and I never looked back. And that turned out to be millions and tens of millions of dollars. I took a seed amount with Pinnacle and turned it into $4 million. I took $1,000 at a major casino and ran it up to millions of dollars, 800,000 or more in half times and over $1 million in round robin wins over a month's period, 8-9 months period. This particular situation is unfortunate because there's been some real bad timing issues. First of all, to get the champ system excited, they had to see that I was winning, so I was on a hot streak at the time that they started. I'd already finished a hot streak at the time they started sending them in. So I had a lot of capital that was generated off $1,000, which I've continued to use, and I've already taken money back to put away. The other times we had the other day where we had a round robin winner that we didn't get the timing right. There was a time change. The scores and odds had the time wrong on the Princeton Pennsylvania game, I think, or Princeton Yale game. We had the over. We didn't get it in time for you guys to take advantage of it. That would have been plus 28 units. Then we had some first halves that hit that we didn't get in. That would have been another 20 units. We just started the morning off plus 48 units. Bad luck has it, it didn't work out that way. But in reality, that's what was written down, and that's what would have been the success outcome. There's been some other ones that we mistimed, but we're getting that down to a science now where that won't be happening going forward. The bottom line, though, is that I'm putting up my own money. I'm risking my own capital. I'm using the same systems that I've generated a lot of money off for many, many years. And even though I don't like it when we're on a down cycle, I know what comes next. It's very predictable. It's almost like the seasons of the year. You know that after winter is spring, and after spring is summer. And things work out that way with patterns in the way I play the round robins. The half times, I'm going to zero in better on the second halves. The first halves have been a little more unpredictable than I'm accustomed to, but the second halves have been coming in much cleaner, so I'll be focusing on getting you a lot of positive units on that. For those of you that can't replenish your original seed capital on the round robin system and you don't have much to work with, I do not recommend the round robin system for you. In fact, if that's the case where you've had a small amount of money and you don't have the ability to win it back on the next hot streak that occurs, please contact me on this text message 702-462-1135. I'm truly not interested in anyone losing. I want everyone to make money off this system, and I know that if you hang in there and replenish right now your round robin account, you're going to see tremendous results. Again, not little tiny wins, big wins. If you have $500 or $1,000, my goal is to get you to $50,000 to $100,000. Name another system that does that. And if you have to replenish 2 or 3 or 4 times to get to 50 or 100,000, okay, so your investment is 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, you got back 50 to 100. You take the 50 to 100, you put 2/3 of it away and start over, and you'll never be using your own capital for betting again, which is exactly what's happened to me in my career, and that's what I want to see for you. So that's a long-winded answer, Vince, but it's important that everyone know the round robin system is a low investment, high return opportunity. But since it's got such an amazingly high return, you have to kind of think of the round robin system as like antes into a poker game, waiting for the big pot. And you're going to lose a lot of antes before the big pot hits. But as a good poker player will tell you, that's the nature of how you win in poker. You are looking to hit the big pots, not just to win the antes. You're not going to make money just trying to buy antes all the time, and it's not a winning strategy. Winning strategy in poker, winning strategy in this round robin system is to set yourself up for a huge win. And again, huge win to me is 50 to 100 times what you started with. And I've done it over 100 times myself, maybe hundreds of times, and you'll see it repeat. So even if you're not playing them right now, stay tuned. Watch the picks, watch what happens. We report honestly, good, bad, or even. And so you know you got transparency, and you know you have honest results, and you're going to see how this thing kicks in. Again, it's not fun for me either. I'm not doing well in the round robins like I normally do, but the difference is I'm using house money and some of you aren't, and I want to get you all out of the mode of using your own money and only use house money like I am. Next question was from Rashan. Wouldn't it just be more economical to wait for you to get on a run before I start betting instead of always betting and then ramp up when you finally do? Well, again, if you don't have much money and you can't replenish, then you can do that, but you're going to have to be very careful because the timing of my runs, I can hit every single round robin in one day. Especially when baseball comes, you'll see me sweep the board all the time. I've had days where I've picked every side and every single total of every single game on the board. I've done it 2-3 days in a row. I don't know how that happens, but it happens. And it's like I zone in and I just know what's going to happen. I even get to the point where I can predict the scores. It's uncanny, and I can't wait for you all to see this because I'm truly a legendary sports handicapper, and I go on runs that are unheard of. And yes, there's cold streaks too, but when you compare the cold streaks to the hot streaks, it's laughable. If you played poker and you sat there and you anteed in $10 10 times, lost all antes, and then won a $10,000 pot, do you even care about the 10 antes you lost? Of course not. Well, that's the same way that this works. Leonard asks, how do you decide which teams to pair up in the round robins? I'm looking for if it's a long day, I'm looking to be able to accelerate through the different time slots, looking for the right kind of patterns in the mornings versus mid-mornings, afternoons, etc. If it's a day where I'm not trying to progress throughout the day, then I look to put the same kind of situations, whether bounce situations or flow situations, home dominant situations, road situations. I'm looking to pair up the right kind of combination. So if one particular pattern is flowing that day, then a round robin hits. The key to me is to in the round robin system is not the percentage of wins or losses, it's the percentage of round robins that hit. I have no problem with hitting 2 3 out of 3s and hitting 2 0 out of 3s. That means I boxed them together right, and the different patterns that I was putting in play, a couple of them hit and a couple of them didn't. That's fine with me. I'm not looking to grind out a straight play multiple game system. That doesn't work. What works is how I'm able to recognize patterns and put them into the right groups and progress on the round robin system. That's what we're going to do for you, and you'll see that it makes sense in the long run how I'm pairing up the round robins. Tommy's asking, when basketball season is over, do you go on to baseball? Yes, baseball, as I've said before, is my hottest sport. I typically can hit 15 in a row, 19 out of 20, 29 out of 30. I go on ridiculous runs in baseball, even to the point where I'll take 2s and 3s and move them to 3s and 4s and move them to 4s and 5 for people so that you can take a small amount when I'm hot and win so much money. It will definitely amaze you. Joe asks, it seems like nearly every game we take is 1.5 to 3 point favorite. It goes down the wire and we end up losing somehow. Wouldn't it be better to take them on the money line, though, even though payoff is less? Well, you know what? Right now, I hope a lot of you are taking money lines and a lot of you are teasing them, because this has been ridiculous how many close games have gone against us, and what a monumental difference it had been if it had been 50-50. So those of you that are doing that during this unusual streak, I'm sure you're doing quite well off these picks. And if that's something that you want to do until we really heat up to be a little more conservative, then I recommend it. I personally don't do it because I'm not used to losing such a high percentage of the close games, and I'm also not used to having so many close games. Last question is from Larry. Do you have any bracket picks for March Madness? No, I don't, but interesting fact. You've seen some of these contests where they'll give you $1 million or $100 million or whatever if you are able to successfully fill out a complete March Madness bracket. The odds of filling out a complete bracket and hitting it are trillions to one, and that's just amazing how how difficult it is when you start out with 64 teams and you end up with that many different combinations of possible outcomes. So I don't do it. I know it's fun for people, and anything that's fun, go ahead. But for myself, I don't have a bracket picks as of yet. So today we have a total of 3 round robins. So I'm going to go ahead and give them to you now. In the NBA, it's 532 Cavaliers minus 7.5, 533 Pacers minus 3.5, and 535 Oklahoma City minus 6.5. That's 532 Cavs, 533 Pacers, 535 Oklahoma City. Next one in college, 556 Colorado State, 554 California, and 550 Georgia Tech. That's 556 Colorado State, 554 California, 550 Georgia Tech. Third and not least is the 546 Syracuse, 562 Utah, and 558 Alabama. This is the power home favorite roundy. So it's 546 Syracuse, 562 Utah, 558 Alabama. Recommend that you go ahead at this point and, if you can, replenish your round robin pool and do 2% on each one for a total of 8 times 3 is 24% will be in play. And you'll see once we start hitting a couple of these, boom, it happens so fast. You'll be really impressed, really amazed in how much you make. And again, if any of you have gone ahead and risked more than you should have or more than you could have and don't have any way to replenish and go ahead and take advantage of this great system, please go ahead and text me at 702-462-1135 and I'll get back to you. I've won a lot of money in sports and I'm only interested in you winning, and if there's some situations out there where this system has not worked yet for you and has caused some hardships, then I'm going to help you out. So I consider you all friends as far as an extended group that is going to benefit from what I've learned, and I actually take how you're doing more seriously than how I'm doing. So it's important that you all win, and if I wasn't 100% certain that you're going to end up way ahead, and if the champ system wasn't 100% certain that you're going to end up way ahead, we just wouldn't do this. There's no benefit to it for us long term unless you win. It's a very honorable group we're working with here, and we're all dedicated to your success and look forward to it happening very quickly, hopefully starting tonight. Thank you. Going forward, I'll continue to release all of my daily picks to you for free if you text me or subscribe to my mailing list. So make sure to text me or subscribe to my free mailing list so I can continue sending you all of my picks every day. I've made tens of millions of dollars betting on sports over the years, and now I'm finally breaking my secret so that you too can share in my success. All you have to do is either click on the link in the description of this video or send me a text message to my phone number at 702-462-1135. If you're texting me from outside the United States, add the +1, so it's +1 702-462-1135. I will begin texting and emailing you with all of my daily picks whenever they come up. Remember, subscribing to my mailing list is 100% free, no strings attached. And every day that you're not a subscriber to my free mailing list is another day that you may have missed out on one of my devastating winning runs. So be sure to click on the link in the description of this video or send me a text at 702-462-1135, or if you're outside of the United States, +1 702-462-1135 to join my mailing list today, 100% free. And you'll be the first to know when I release my killer picks every single day. Again, 100% free.